Hey men, Todd with Empowered Men Coaching. Hope you guys are doing well today. I wanted to talk to you about situations we sometimes find ourselves in. It can happen at work especially, and that is one where we have some kind of responsibility or accountability for an outcome without having the appropriate authority to make sure it gets done. And I've seen situations, talk to men in my coaching sessions where this can happen frequently in their work experience. And I thought back on it in my own life, and I remember I had just been employed by a major corporation, and the title I was given was supervisor intern, which in that corporate structure meant the next move was manager. So it was in fact a higher level than someone who was classed as a supervisor. So I was working with my manager, and he had given me some instructions to get some things accomplished in the department that I was in or associated with. And in this department, there was a person who was designated supervisor, and she had just recently been hired. So I found myself basically butting heads with her about getting things done, and what the real issue was, she believed that a supervisor intern was one level less. And so she did not understand why she should be listening or doing anything that I said or suggested to her. And at that point in my career, it was like first out of the gate, I really didn't understand all this stuff. And ultimately, it just became a cluster. And I don't think my manager was very impressed with me and how I handled it. But it was a clear situation of being given the responsibility to get something done without at least clear authority to make it happen. And so now looking back on that situation, what needed to have happened is my manager needed to make it very clear with this supervisor, who also reported to him, that I had the authority and it was my call, and that she needed, to follow that. And that never happened. And so there was the confusion. So my point today is, when you find yourself at work and you find yourself being given responsibility for something, especially when it involves other people that may be of a parallel level or a different department, be very clear about how your authority is going to be communicated to the players involved. Because if it's not communicated clearly, you're going to run into problems. And what I have also found in my own experience and with talking with men and counseling or coaching is that oftentimes managers or the person who could designate the authority to you doesn't really want to do that, doesn't really want it to have it out there and just be, black and white, because potentially it's going to step on some toes, create some conflict or some confrontation with the people involved. So basically, they just expect you, hey man, just deal with it. And that's bullshit, right? So be aware, be conscious, do a great job, take on the responsibility, but make sure that the authority for the execution of the task has been clearly communicated via in-person, email, or whatever it is that needs to happen with the players involved. And I hope that's helped you today. Feel free to leave any comments about this, and please subscribe. And I hope to bring you more valuable information and insight as to navigate your world today as a man. And have a great day. This is Todd with Empowered Men Coaching.